Alright, y'all. The last part of how I make piles and piles and piles of compost and garden soil is by coming in here with a shovel and scooping up all of that stuff, all of that top layer in here, and put it in the compost pile. That's nothing but chicken poop and yucky. That's a little girl that's always been hurt. She's all right though. She's oh, she's kind of scared. I don't know why she's scared. Let's see. Okay. She's all right. She's a good girl. She just had everybody running over her. You see her feet are a little messed up. She gets around though. I take care of her. I give her a little bit extra food. But yeah, I'm gonna come in here, get the tractor, bring the shovel, and start clearing this out. Alright, y'all, the last time, or the last few times I've done this, it always seems like it's after a rain, and it was always wet and disgusting, and it stunk like what? Well, it stunk like what it is, and it's really disgusting. So this time I think I'm gonna be happy because this is just dry. It's so dry. All right, I'm gonna get at it. All right, I'm gonna pick that little girl up. She looks a little nervous and scared. I'm gonna put her in the top. Put my music on. See, I got my good shirt on today. See that? See, I got the good shirt on. You don't wear good clothes when you do that. Alright, y'all, that's the first load, and that's what I got from that. So still got to dig up this side. I'll leave the back alone, but you can tell that's a lot of poop, and I still got the other side, so that's a lot of stuff. A lot of good stuff. pile. I already did that before. Alright y'all, the last part of the making compost stuff is I brought all that chicken refuse over here, and it's pretty nasty, it's pretty ripe. but I'm gonna let it sit on top of this grass. And the leaves, I'm just messing with it. You don't have to do this. But I'm not some genius in this now for sure. But don't look at my holy shirt. I just know this works. This makes unbelievable, unimaginable, great gardening soil. I'm using it in my raised beds, and it works excellent. One of the things I can say about it is if you don't have access to the manure, you can do this with just leaves and grass. It's just going to break down to a lot less in organic material. It will eventually make something you can use as a gardening soil, but it's going to be more of an amendment. You can put it in there, but it's going to break down to almost next to nothing over time. But you will be able to grow in it, but you're going to just have to pile and pile and pile and pile and get there. But if you have, even if you don't have the chicken manure or horse manure or anything to have access to like that, you can go and get little piles of dirt throughout your property. Like if you say you have to knock down a hill or something, you can put that in there and it'll help add a soil component to the compost, which will really bring it all together. I have done that in the past. I've cleaned out some ditches and stuff, and I just put that extra dirt, and it was nasty stuff. It was like clayish, yucky, soupy, we call it gumbo mud over here, and I put that in a compost pile. It breaks down with the grasses and the grass clippings and the leaves. It makes wonderful, very wonderful compost, very wonderful soil for a garden, for a raised bed garden, or even I've actually used it to amend my main garden, I call, to bring it up a little bit where I had some low spots that were getting water saturated, and it really helped the soil composition of the in-ground garden. So what I'm trying to say is, if you don't have all the components, even if you have the leaves and the grass clippings, which you're gonna have to be able to get that, you can get that. I got a buddy that picks them up off the side of the road when he sees people put their garbage bags out filled with grass clippings. He picks them up. He lives in a more urban environment. He's got beautiful gardens, and he loves getting those grass clippings. But and people put their leaves out when they rake their yard, so you can just grab them from on side the road if you like that. He does. I get mine from my own house, and you know what? If someone asked and stopped by and said, "Can I rake the leaves in your yard and take them?" I'd be like, "You dang right you can, because I got more than I ever need." My wife rakes quite consistently throughout the year, and we end up with piles and piles and piles. I mulch all the trees with them. I put piles of this. I mulch all over the area with them. So you don't need them all, but I would say you need the grass clippings and maybe some leaves. But if you don't have the chicken manure or horse manure or any kind of manure, you could probably just put just regular dirt from wherever you dig it up and put it in the pile, and it'll compost down with the leaves. It'll make a fine soil, beautiful soil, beautiful. So in closing, this is how I make piles and piles of compost that I use in my raised bed gardens as the soil for my raised bed garden. So I hope you gotten something from this. I never want to come off as a know-it-all, but if you can see me learning and learning along the way, I hope you understand I'm like you. I'm just like you. I'm learning as I go, and I've been gardening for a long time, and I've been successful at gardening, and I've been a failure at gardening. And if anyone who acts like they know it all, anyone who acts like they've got it all figured out, be very weary of that person. Be very, very weary of what they say, because it's anyone that says they're a professional at everything in the world, you got to watch out for. So just be careful about that. But I advocate studying things. That's why I'm a study. I like studying things. I'm very much of an academic, and I have a lot of academic degrees, but I like to study. I just like learning and figuring things out, and the best way to learn is by doing. So get out there and do as much as you can. You're going to learn a lot more by doing it and figuring it out. Watch what other people do, and then incorporate that into your system. And your system is what's going to work for you. All right?